Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of
A BJJ Marriage, where we talk about our lives as a married Jiu Jitsu couple.
All right.
You didn't want to do your song?
Da-da-da.
He's been like coming in like a superhero, like. Woo.
Yeah. You drinking wine?
Yes, absolutely.
That is fantastic.
No, it's
looks
coffee.
Like wine. Oh, it's coffee. Bummer.
If it was wine, you would know Nick can't have wine without throwing up.
I can.
Like even a glass?
I just can't have cheap wine.
I don't think that's true.
My body picks and chooses what wine is okay.
We were at a wedding once, and he had 2 glasses of wine during happy hour, and then he missed everything for the rest of the night.
I bet you were whining about it the whole night.
It was terrible.
Wow.
I was passed
You're not
out.
even a dad.
But I am funny.
No.
Oh, man.
Welcome to another episode of A BJJ Marriage.
Episode 26, I just found out.
Yes.
Means
Surprise.
half a year. That's crazy.
I know, half a year.
So
That's crazy. But we have special guests today, Joshua Janis and Meghan Wagner. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us. Hello, everybody.
Yes. We know Josh and Megan from one of our sister gyms with Fluid, Nutri-Ground, which is where we're recording today.
Should we introduce our 5th guest, Mr. Fly?
There's going to be a lot of them.
Mr. Fly decided to join us,
Oh.
and he wants to be on the podcast. So.
he just wants to say hi. It's cool.
Yeah.
He's getting lots of screen time.
But yeah, we're at Nutri-Ground. If you've been listening to our podcast, then you hear us talk about it a lot. And this is one of, 4, 5?
That's a trick question.
Yeah.
No one knows.
In Milwaukee, this is one of 3.
Okay.
In the Milwaukee area. I guess.
Yeah,
And then,
I guess Milwaukee also isn't really Milwaukee.
yeah. And then there's Nutri-Ground, we call it satellites.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah,
John,
it's like Sheboygan, Grafton, West Bend.
That's right. Yep.
All those ones.
And this is your guys' home gym? Like, this is where you train the most?
Pre-pandemic, for sure. Now we've been at South Milwaukee quite a bit. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we've kind of developed a home. South Milwaukee was the first one that we could legally grapple at during the pandemic.
Got it.
Yeah. So we ended up kind of building some relationships there and now have a commitment to building that gym.
Cool. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, if you guys don't mind just introducing yourselves a little bit, how you got started and where you're at now. Josh.
The famous
Thank you,
question.
Brittany.
So, yeah, my name is Josh. My company name, or my company is My Odyssey. You may have heard of it before if you listen to this podcast. I got started in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in the year of our Lord 2000, which apparently is a long time ago now.
Seems that way.
Yeah, I'm not as young as I look.
I was 9 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, 9 years old. He was 9 years old the first time I walked on the mat, but had a pretty big gap. So actual training years, it's been 16-ish, 16 plus probably. Let's see, what else? Black belt under John Friedland. I like to go to comedy shows with my girlfriend, and I enjoy long
Bad
walks on
jokes.
beach. Yes, I enjoy funny jokes. I have a good sense of humor, and I like to strangle people with heat.
Yes.
So that's about it. I think
Awesome.
that pretty much covered everything in my life.
Yeah. How many guillotine seminars do you think you've done? If you had to put a number on.
A couple dozen.
That's a lot.
That's crazy. And you have one coming up, right?
I have one coming up at this place. Gosh, what's the name of it? It's like
Something
something
like
with
water.
water as well. Yeah, but then he really likes the lava along with it.
Yeah, something like that.
He likes to flow like lava. Yeah. So there's a seminar coming up on August 7th at 10 a.m. at Fluid Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah.
I believe you guys are familiar with that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No?
That place sucks. I'm just kidding. For those of you who don't know, that's our gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should definitely come dojo storm us.
And yeah, the owner has, he likes to flow like lava. He's very
Compact.
pressed.
The
Yes.
stone meatball, we like to call him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard that before?
Yeah.
hmm He actually was just talking about your seminar yesterday when we were closing out to people, and he was just like, yeah, so if you guys really want to get to know Guillotines better, whether you're a beginner or a black belt, it doesn't matter. He's the best in the state, I would say.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I don't know how you judge that, but I
went around guillotine me.
I will take it as a compliment and do that. Yeah.
Nice. All right, Megan.
Well, my name is Megan. How I got started in Jiu Jitsu. I guess I did Taekwondo for 13 years.
Did you really? I didn't know that about you.
It's a long time.
So I grew up doing martial arts, loved it.
3-stripe black belt. Don't overlook that. It's a big deal.
There wasn't much left to learn at a certain point, I felt like, in Taekwondo, and I was looking for something new. My best friend told me to try Jiu Jitsu, but then I went to the Bayview Bash, and Irma gave me a coupon for $50 off your first month.
Okay.
And that's how I
Coupons are good.
Cool.
So I'm a sucker for coupons, so I went in my first day, and I fell in love.
That's awesome.
So, and now I'm 5.5 years in, roughly, and it's been pretty great.
So Irma's the one that got you in?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because she gave me the coupon.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, that's what really won me over. I'm not sure that got anybody else in, but it did it for me.
Awesome.
That's enough, right?
Tell us about your purple belt story, because I like that story. I kind of gave my own version of it a couple weeks ago on this.
Wait,
She was just thrown her purple belt.
Huh?
She didn't even know it was coming.
Is your surprising
Oh, yeah.
purple belt promotion?
Yes. I don't know. What's the cool story?
Like you walked in as a blue belt and came out as a purple without knowing it was happening?
Oh, we never know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's normal?
That's
Yes.
why I was like, what's the...
Oh.
Yeah.
It's probably more common than your way.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, our way is
Interesting.
not normal.
Well, no, it's. I wouldn't call it not normal either. I think they're both normal now, but if you had to add a percentage, I would say it's just a little bit higher that people don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I
Now
think
you know.
what was
The more
abnormal...
you know.
And what was abnormal about our promotion was there was a couple of guys who got blue belts who had never seen a promotion because we haven't had class because of COVID intermediate. So they didn't know what was happening because they'd never seen one. And that was really kind of a cool experience because they were just called to the middle and Shark Tanked and they didn't know for a while.
So did you
What's
still
that?
get Shark Tank then?
Yeah.
On the same day?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is where my white beltness is coming out right now. Someone yesterday, they are just a one-stripe white belt at our gym, and they said something about the last competition. They're like, oh yeah, weren't you guys just at NAGA like 2 weeks ago? And I was like, NAGA?
Yeah.
How white belt are you?
Nega. Oh,
They meant the lake, Nagawaki.
I guess.
That's what they meant.
probably.
But
Yeah,
wow.
most belt promotions are like every gym is different. I mean, our belt promotions used to be different than they are now. In that, like, they were awful. I mean, when I got my blue belt, I remember a guy puked,
Thanks.
and
From the Shark Tank? Or
well, yeah. So you did the Shark Tank, which was a different thing, and then you did. You used to get whipped through a gauntlet of people. You used to like have to carry, and you still do have to carry people and like drag people, and it's it's just it's a rite of passage, and when you're going through it, I mean, you earned it, right? Like it's not. I don't know. I guess how did you feel going through it? Like when you're getting Shark Tanked?
I just feel really energized.
Yeah.
It's just an exciting moment. And I think this last one was super exciting because I trained with these guys for so long during COVID and like only these people for the most part. And it was just really cool to like share that experience with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long do you get Shark Tank for? How does it work, I guess I should say?
All of a sudden class just ends and John calls some people to the center. And then you get Shark Tanked for some indeterminate amount of time. And then you sweep everybody and get swept.
Well, throw. It's a little bit. Yeah, you go through the line and you'll toss somebody, and then you'll get tossed. And when you're getting thrown one after one, it's like, a lot of times. So this is what life's about. You get thrown, you get back up. You get thrown, you get back up, even when you're tired. So that's kind of a cool thing that he'll do, but. Yeah, it's an indeterminate amount of time. I've seen Shark Tanks that are absurdly long, and I've seen Shark Tanks that are like, 15 minutes.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
So by throwing, like on your feet, and you just have to throw everyone in the gym.
Everybody lines up.
Yeah,
you just go
they
through.
line up in a line, and they work their way through.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds right up your alley.
I'll do that.
Why don't we do that?
We do other things. Brent is also a very regimented person, where he's very like strict on what he wants, and it doesn't deviate much.
No.
I think it's weird that you guys know when it happens. That's such a
That's all I've
concept
ever
for us.
known, though. So, like, when you guys just said that, I mean, you saw my face. I was like, what?
Yeah. Brent's philosophy on that is he says that there's so many training partners that he wished he would have been to their promotions.
Yeah.
That it was such a surprise that he wants people to have that opportunity, or even to invite family or other people that don't train to say, hey, there's this event coming up. I'm getting promoted. I'd really like you to be there.
Yeah, we actually just had that conversation with him a couple weeks ago because I asked him if he ever wants to surprise people, because he's only done it one time. He surprised Jason Lippert with his brown belt when he was a purple. And
that was in the church, right?
No, that was at the brand new Fluid, like when it just opened. That's right. And it was actually a belt ceremony for someone else. And then he was like, well, Lippert's joining too. And Lippert's like, what? But that was the only time he's ever surprised anyone. And I asked him, I was like, what, like, why don't you like to surprise people? Because isn't that how John Friedland does it? And he was like, yeah. And that's when he explained the whole, I just was always very upset when I missed people's promotions because, you know, I didn't feel like going that day, or maybe I had to work or something, when now I would like it if everyone could be a part of it, like, all the time.
Yeah.
With Lippert's surprise, real quick, I'm pretty sure he also flew in that morning. He was on vacation, and he had a few beers at the airport.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he showed up to the gym.
That's
and
right.
then he got Shark Tank for 45 minutes. And he was like, oh.
Things like that make it worth the excitement of not knowing. You know, I've become good friends with Brent, and I don't think it's any surprise that we think about things differently. But I actually agree with him on that. I really do. There's been some people, like, they almost exclusively train with me at my classes, and then I didn't go on some other random day and I missed their, and like, I guess that's a selfish way of looking at it, because there is excitement and value to not knowing, because you kind of know when you're close.
Right.
And that can
and
be
you go to class every day, like,
that can be a driving factor. And for me, it was really tough getting through. I remember blue belt. Not that I remember,
especially when you were 3 stripes.
Yeah, no, I don't remember the 3 stripes. I remember going bonkers because I thought, why am I still a blue belt? Like, I didn't know. You cannot ask John.
Yeah,
you just can't ask him. Don't. You're not going to get your belt for 15 years if you ask him. And it was driving me fucking bananas. And so much so that purple belt, I was like, can we do purple belt where I don't get any stripes and you just promote me to brown whenever I'm ready? Because it like drove me crazy. But there was a lesson in that. And I had to learn that lesson. So,
that makes sense.
My expectations shifted. And after purple belt, I didn't really have that anxiety.
So why do you think it was for blue? Like, how long were you a blue belt that it was giving you that kind of stress?
So I started training gi in 2010. So I had, in January of 2010, I had, it was like a New Year's resolution that I was going to start training gi.
I'll put on the stupid pajamas.
Yeah.
You did 10 years, just no gi.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it wasn't 10 full years.
Right.
Yeah.
It was more like, but still, that's crazy.
Yeah. It was more like 5.
So then when I was 19, you put on the gi.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm 29. You're a black belt, so that's cool.
But so I had experience, a significant amount of experience, and like when I put on a gi, he racked me up right away. And so then I got my blue belt within a year-ish. And then I don't know how long I was a blue belt, but like when I started training at Neutral Ground, like Perry started training, Luke started training, and like a lot of the older guys like were significantly past me. Yeah, they were better than me too. Don't get me wrong, they were better than me. But there was still, like, whenever I would train with other blue belts, I thought I'm tough. Like that's the only thing that goes into belts.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the the wisdom to understand it. And, for however many years it was that I was a blue belt, like, especially at the end, like I said, it's probably the last year of being a blue belt. It was like driving me insane. So, and it shouldn't have. It taught me a valuable lesson in life. But, yeah.
That's a cool story.
I don't like that.
That was weird.
That happens way more often than it should.
Yeah. You guys are on the same wavelength.
I guess.
Something like that.
But I guess kind of going off of that, we've been together for a while. We trained together, but you guys have also been together for a while and trained together. What's that like?
It was great during COVID.
Yeah, that's something that we were always super grateful for, is that when the gym was closed, we could still train in our basement and do things together rather than just being like, I need a grappling dummy.
Yeah.
I feel like before COVID, we trained maybe half the week together. So I felt like very different. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 classes. Otherwise, we went to different schools.
Okay.
So, and the pandemic kind of changed that. Obviously, during it, we trained all the time together. And now we go to almost all the same classes.
I remember watching your live classes.
Mm-hmm.
We would lay in the bed and watch that.
Yeah, I just like to put the dumb videos on his head.
I do remember that in your apartment. And then when we went to your place, I was like, where did you put mats?
Clearing everything out.
But I love training together. It's nice because I want to do all like the weird shit I see on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, how do we make this happen so I can actually do it?
How about rolling together? You guys have like any real rolls together?
Yeah, I get a little competitive sometimes.
Not as much anymore.
Yeah, it's gotten better. I don't get it with anybody else, just him. I don't know if you have that problem at all, but
she's triangled me once, and I'm not gonna let it happen again. It's the plan. We'll see.
Yeah, so probably the stupidest person to be competitive with because he's got good deal of time more than me, so I'm not going to be doing much until I wait till he's old.
I get it.
You're never going to be older than you.
We're always
Telomere-wise.
going to be 10 years.
Years around the sun, maybe. But I'm going to be a young at heart stallion my whole life. Anyway.
I get mad every time he submits me. And I shouldn't, because any other blue belt, I'm like, oh, that was really good. Every time Nick does it, I'm like, you're such an asshole.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know why it happens. I don't know. It's like some different version of me comes out when I roll with him. I'm like, I gotta win.
Yeah, and we always try to roll light because sometimes she doesn't want to roll hard. But then she's like rolling hard, and I'm like, I give it back to her a little bit, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm matching you.
No, I definitely get competitive, and really only with him. I don't know why. I think so the way that I thought about it is that you guys are so equal when you live together and when you're at home and just like going through life, like everything you do, you are roughly the same, and you try to equalize everything that you do, like chores and things around the house, and you try to do things together. And then when you're in the gym, you just want to kind of show dominance a little bit. I don't know why.
That came right out of left field.
I respectfully disagree with that. I don't have any feelings like I have to be at all dominant. And honestly, I learn, like obviously she learns a lot of jiu-jitsu from me, but I learn just as much from her, and no bullshit, because her style is so weird. I mean, I'm not. If you've ever rolled,
sometimes use weird as an insult. So
yeah, no, it's not an insult at all. It's like it's amazing because I would fall into my own like normalcy of what rolling is. Like, oh, okay, let's do front headlock or let's do a darce or whatever. But with her, like, she's taught me to have more fun. Like these principles that I didn't really have. Like, have fun. Don't worry about winning. Just move. And like the way she moves is so different than other people. And she's having, most of the time when she's not trying to kill me, has a smile on her face. And I mean, it just taught me so much, and it's opened up my eyes. Instead of having blinders on, this is how jiu-jitsu should be.
Right.
It's like, oh, there's all sorts of different types of jiu-jitsu. This is beautiful. And so, like, I get to learn that from her, which I think is super neat.
That's cool.
We're not at that stage.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, and you know, everybody's different, and you know, Brent would be like, "What the fuck? No, this is how you do a Kimura," and I'm like, "Oh man, that's not how you do a Kimura.
Kimura can come from anywhere.
There's a million different ways to do it."
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with that you guys have been training a lot longer than me, too. Because he's been training a lot longer than me, and he obviously has a wealth of knowledge that I don't. So when you said, like, I get to learn from him, like, oh, that's cool. Nick doesn't get to learn anything from me. That's just...
I wouldn't say that. There's some
really?
stuff. Yeah. I mean, you have your own typical style. I mean, it's white belt-ish, but it's there. So I have to do something about it.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is that as Nick develops a wisdom in jiu-jitsu, he will learn from everybody. And so he will learn from you. He will learn from almost everybody. Every once in a while, there's some douche that comes in and be like, "Man, I don't want to be anything like that." But as long as you're being true to, like, wow, this is so hippie. As long as you're being true to who you are and your personality in jiu-jitsu, and like just trying stuff. This is something that she taught me inadvertently. It's not like she's using these words. As long as you're being true to yourself in that will, he can't be that. And so he can learn from that. If you're always trying to, like, be someone else, then it's, you know, well, he can see that other person. So he's not going to learn that from you. But because she's unapologetically a weirdo on the mat, I get to learn a lot from her. Because you can't see that anywhere else. She's Meghan Wagner.
Yep.
One of a kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her gi says it all.
Yeah, if you thought I was flippy or spinny, like she's more flippier and spinnier.
Yes.
Which is, like he said, weird or wild, or I think it's fun. And that's one thing I tell all new white belts. Like, I'm in a white belt group on Facebook, and all the white belts that come to the gym, I say that the most important things for you to get better at jiu-jitsu is show up to class, number one. And then number two is just have fun. Because without that, you're just going to stop coming to class.
Yeah.
And then you'll never learn anyways. So just make sure you have fun. And then you'll want to keep doing jiu-jitsu forever. And I try to make sure I always have fun. Unless I'm training for competition in a week.
Yeah, you're very good at that. You always have a smile on your face. You're always having fun and being that spark plug every time I've been to Fluid.
Oh, thanks. I try. I do. And I try to make it fun for other people.
People really like rolling with you. They tell me all the time, they're like, Nick is such a fun roll. And I was like, really?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I do roll differently with you than with everyone else.
That's what we've said, though. Do you know why?
Absolutely. Well,
You trying to show dominance?
Yes.
See?
He's actually peeing a little every time. That's fine.
This is my territory.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is about rolling together, but like we both have said, I don't roll like that with anyone else, like only you. And I can't pinpoint why. Because even yesterday...
Because we both do that with each other. We feed off of it.
I guess.
Mirror each other.
I think so. Well, everyone also tells me, too, like anyone that I roll with who knows how he rolls, they're always like, oh, you're just a mini Nick. Like, I get that all the time. And I'm like, I'm
what does
sorry.
that mean?
I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. But every time that I've rolled with someone who I haven't in a while, they're like, you've been training with Nick too much. Nick, stop teaching her stuff. Like, you're just a mini Nick. And I'm like...
Which is kind of funny because I never teach her anything.
No, we don't even roll together.
It is weird.
She's learning through osmosis.
I guess. But no, I just think that everyone kind of learns. So the way that Master Sauer likes to explain it, and I'm sure you guys have heard this, but the analogy of the rice, where everyone has a bowl of rice and then you kind of add in, or there's lots of them, but the rice is very, you can add in a little bit of like onion, or some person might add in parsley, or some person might add in soy sauce, or whatever you want. Like everyone,
I'd add a whole bucket of soy sauce.
Oh my goodness! But everyone adds their own thing to the rice. So even though everyone has that fundamentals, like you've all learned the basic submissions, you've all learned the basic positions of jiu-jitsu, you're now adding your own flavors and your own styles to it. And I think like us four here are good examples. Just even if we had anyone else sitting here, we've all learned those basic principles, but we're all doing it in our own way.
You're still a white belt.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I would like to say something about belts. Now that I'm a black belt, I can honestly say there's like belts are a funny thing. Like, people, do you feel different? I've probably heard that question, dozens of times after I got my black belt. And I'm like, no, it's the same. Like, other people treat me different. That's the only difference. I'm no better or worse than I was the day before when I was a brown belt. I'm no better or worse at jiu-jitsu. I'm no better or worse coach. I'm no better or worse at anything. It's an opportunity for a milestone, and that's what the belts are. But when you get your blue belt, when you get your purple belt, when you get your brown belt, when everybody gets their black belt, that's it. It's just a milestone. It doesn't make you any different. It doesn't make you happier. It doesn't make you sadder. It doesn't make you do anything. It's just that our culture has determined that we want milestones to show that we're improving. When the fact of the matter is, you are improving whether you're a white belt, a blue belt, a purple belt. I'm sure the fly is a brown belt.
Yep.
So I don't, it's easy to say now because now I just get promoted every 3 years for shit. But, but like, it's just, we don't need, if we all just were about that journey and like, okay, am I better? Like, I went today, therefore I know I'm better. If that were the case, life would be so much easier for us.
Yeah.
I think that is everyone's ultimate goal. And I mean, we preach on that a lot throughout this podcast, that as long as you are trying to be better than you were yesterday, I think that you're improving, even if you had sucky rolls on that mat that day, or
which happens.
Yeah, all the time. As long as you're just trying to be better, you will probably get better.
Yeah, as long as you show up, look at technique, and roll a little bit.
Mat time.
I always try to think about it like if I get into a position I've never been in before, then like I'm growing and I'm learning.
So that's a good way to think about it.
Do you have them all written down?
No, but there's just some weird shit where I'm just like, I've never been in this. I have no idea what to do here. And that happens a lot, and it still keeps happening a lot. So I guess that's good.
That is good.
Human body can move in weird ways.
Yeah.
That's the one thing jiu-jitsu has taught me the most, is that your body should not have to move that way, but it does somehow.
Yeah, which is what I'm really excited about for later today when we play with some donkey guard stuff.
Yeah, Jeff Glover coming to the Fluid Jiu-Jitsu.
That place? Yeah.
That place?
Yeah, Jeff Glover at Fluid Jiu-Jitsu, I believe September 24th-ish. Something like that.
25th, I think.
The 20s in September. Yeah. You can catch us at Fluid.
I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. I do inherently play a lot of donkey guard. I find myself inverted on my shoulders with my butt in the air, my feet on them, and then I fish for like a lot of omoplatas and triangles, or just keep spinning, and then people are like, ah. That's the biggest reaction I get. They'll step back.
I was playing inverted once, and I had a kid go. He just stopped. He's like, "This is black magic," and that's like the weirdest response I've ever received. And I was like, "Oh,
which?"
It's like, okay.
I guess I'll sit down then.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, we'll try to be a little bit more normal for you. I'm sorry.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How old was the kid?
13 maybe.
Okay.
But like, not super small, but still just a weird thing to say.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was funny.
Do you guys teach kids here?
We don't, but somebody does.
The kids are so hard to teach.
We've seen them in the gym, so yes.
Counts, right?
They're fun to teach though, because they give you new challenges. When you try to show them something and then they do absolutely wrong, you're like,
My gosh, on Friday I told a kid, because I kept watching him like go for a takedown, but he would go like straight in rather than changing his levels and like doing all that fun stuff, and he was like, oh, okay, and then right as they slap bump, he went straight in again. I was like, I just told you not to do that, and he was like, what?
Yeah.
Did not understand.
Yeah, kids have a hard time with that sometimes, but I don't know why. Kids are kids.
Well, their brains aren't fully developed, which is why I think it's really cool when young kids do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's the definition of kid, I told you I'm younger than you.
We're all just big kids at heart.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I don't feel like I was growing up.
What do you say a black belt is? A white belt with how many stripes?
20 stripes.
Yeah.
Black belt is 20 stripe white belt. Yeah. Whenever people tell me that they're still a white belt or something, I say, I'm just a 9-stripe white belt. And then they're like, huh?
It's a cool way of looking at it. It certainly is true because, I mean, like on Thursdays we have a class I call the lab, which is an advanced class. Purple belt and above are welcome.
Sure.
And we went over Kimura the last couple weeks, and could I teach a class on how to do a Kimura? Absolutely, yeah, for sure. But that's to people that that's not to like people that have been training for 10, 15 years. Everybody has a little bit different of a way of doing something, and like the elbow placement, where do you place your elbow? Where do you place your forearm? Like different grips on the wrist or part of the hand, or your body position, the different positions where things are more likely to have more leverage. There's so much in that grip that my mind was blown, and I felt like I was doing it wrong. Like, so somebody would ask me, like, do you know the Kimura? And like even the guillotine, I mean, there's so much. I mean, I'm doing a BJJ Fanatics video on guillotine glossary.
That's super exciting.
Coming soon to BJJ Fanatics.
Nice.
And it's like there's so much that I don't even know. Like I don't know how to explain. Like, do I know guillotine? I don't know. I study it more than anybody that I know. Right? Like I play with it. Whatever. But the idea of like knowing something in jiu-jitsu is just, I don't think you can, but you have to answer yes to people that don't know. But if your audience is a bunch of black belts, then the answer is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's always more that you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about jiu-jitsu. There's so many different people with so many different styles and so many different flavors to every technique, which is really cool.
It makes things so, like, this sport so unique, because just the littlest thing can make the biggest difference, and you would have had no idea.
Yeah.
Like just a little change in angle, a little change in leverage, and now you're strangling people unconscious with no effort. Whereas before, you
had to put everything into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you guys, because you guys travel a lot for jiu-jitsu. You are part of the BJJ Globetrotters, and you actually teach at a camp already, or you have some coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was watching your guillotine video on YouTube on BJJ Globetrotters. Yes, all the things. But that was super cool. But I was going to ask, since you guys meet so many different people that come from so many different places, you guys most likely are exposed to a lot of different flavors of techniques than if you just stay at one gym all the time. And I was going to ask, like, how often do you see new stuff with new people in different places versus, like, just coming back to the regular gym? Or you just share it there or something?
I'll let you handle that.
I feel like that was a really long question.
It kind of was.
Basically, do you see new stuff at other gyms, or is it just the same stuff but a different flavor?
I always think everybody like rolls like their personality, so whatever that is, like, kind of manifests. So like I mean, obviously, like different like gyms do things like a little different, or like you have rubber guard like 10th Planet, like that kind of stuff. But I just feel like you can get anything from anywhere.
Yeah. Right.
It's just like finding the people who like that's kind of like an extension of their personality and figuring out what they like.
Yeah, I guess like what's the weirdest thing you saw like like at a camp with a whole bunch of people? If there was something
I know
out that was weird.
Megan in a game crawling at this crawling at this giant. Okay, you want to?
There's my favorite seminar. It was called BJJ Games.
Okay.
That
sounds fun.
Somebody brings it up all the time, so I love games. I got really into it. I was like super stoked all weekend for the games session. So we get there, do like a couple like warm up games. And then we started with you put a sock on one leg, and you're with your partner, and they have to like take your sock off before you do.
Yeah.
So that's to kind of like think about where your legs are and like how to protect your feet. And inversion taught me that my sock's gone all the time.
Upside
so
down.
that's good to know. But then what got to the really intense game was there was one where you had to tie a balloon to your ankle and pop your opponent's balloon. And where my
slap it, pop it or something?
Whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
But where my competitive nature does not come out in Jiu Jitsu, it came out in this game, and I got really into it. I popped a lot of balloons.
So let's set this table a little bit better. You started, so let's say there's 100 people in the class, just for an even number, and it'd be like, all right, Nick and I, we're going. You two are going. All right, then it's like the NCAA tournament. Okay, so that down to 50.
Yep.
Down to 25, whatever.
In the final four.
Yeah, exactly that. And there's all shapes and sizes of people, all shapes, sizes, and skill of people that are in this. And Megan made it. Okay, so it was the top 8 that are left. And then people started like really rooting for her because she was the last. I think you were the last female at that point.
Oh.
And then she made it to final 4.
Nice.
And then everybody's like kind of rooting for her. And then she made it to the finals against
a behemoth of a black belt.
He was a big dude that also happened to be a black belt that was also very athletic. So spoiler alert, he won.
Shocker.
Oh,
but
no.
I was then described as an extraterrestrial space creature.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really good at bear crawling. It's kind of a hidden talent of mine. I actually told Josh I think I'm going to try to beat the world record.
I think we have a child that could beat you.
I don't think so.
She's
right.
Super open to it.
We're gonna
I'm
set
really,
this up.
really good at bear crawling, and it was pretty useful in this activity. So honestly, I was probably the weirdest thing there.
People were like looking, and like I said, because it was like the NCAA tournament where people like, so when you're out, you're all watching. So
Right.
everybody's watching her
Pop
bear
those
crawl
balloons.
and confuse the shit out of these guys. Like, what is going on here? And so she got a.
Were you wearing that gi too?
No.
Just throw them off, camouflage.
No, I just got this one. This is my new favorite, though.
It is super cool.
It's really soft.
Oh.
It's a weird.
Or
It's super light.
It's a weird like light material, and I just like got a tattoo, and like this kind of stuff will rub, but this feels nice on me.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so the Globetrotters, I might as well give a little commercial for them.
Yeah.
It is an awesome organization. Like the culture that Christian has developed at these camps, it's super fun. More about community than jiu-jitsu, but the jiu-jitsu is also very good. At least that's how I view it. Like it's just a really good time with really good people, and it's like hundreds of people that you're doing this 5-7 day camp with. And we're going to Estonia. I'm teaching at the Estonia camp in September, which I think
cool.
Tickets are still available. And then I'm teaching at the St. Bart's Caribbean Island camp in the beginning of December.
That's so cool.
And,
Wow.
So we're pretty excited for those.
Yeah.
Really cool. Because I love how the Globetrotters put together their camp. I am doing the camp in Oconomowoc.
Yes.
This one's only a 3-day camp, but we have 6 black belts, a national champion wrestler, an excellent yoga teacher, and we have 15 hours of seminars. We have 10 hours of lifestyle talks, which are anywhere from like I'm doing Wim Hof breathing. There's breakdancing. There's couples Thai massage. There's all sorts of different things that are part of that camp. 8 hours of open mat, and then same thing. Afterwards, one night we have a big camp barbecue. One night we'll go out and set up a bar crawl throughout Oconomowoc, and so
It does sound like a really good time.
yeah, just a weekend full of jiu-jitsu and good people, and my goal is to have a camp where you walk away like just with 100 new friends.
And where can people find tickets for that?
Yeah, so gentleartlifestyle.com. If you know any of us, you could also find me. But yeah, gentleartlifestyle.com. You can find that, or Oconomowoc Camp. You can just Google Oconomowoc BJJ camp. You can just Google.
Oconomowoc's a hard thing to spell.
That's a good
Oconomowoc.
one. Yeah. BJJ camp, Wisconsin, probably. You can just
I was
Google.
gonna say we have listeners from New Zealand. Try getting them to say Oconomowoc.
Yeah.
Also, you should definitely come to the camp if you're in New Zealand.
100%. If you get here, I'll pay for your ticket to New Zealand. You will be free, just so we can meet some New Zealand Kiwis. Is that the Kiwis?
Yep.
All right, just so we can have some Kiwis.
Kiwi bird. That's a bird.
But the people are Kiwis too.
Isn't that what they call it? The Kiwis?
Do they? I guess.
think so.
Yeah. I don't know. When I think of
pretty sure
Kiwi
that's
now,
like
I just think of
the
a little
slang.
fat bird that can't fly.
Oh,
It is.
what a weird. Why can't there be more words? Like Kiwi, I think is like a slang for New Zealanders. It's a bird and it's a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it all the same?
Can't we just come up with more words? I don't think we've hit our word quota. Like, very confused.
That was an interesting thought.
I also like Kiwis.
Kiwis are so good. I put them in smoothies now. I just recently found out that when I
You
buy
put birds in our smoothies?
but I buy like the bulk packs at Aldi now for like $3, and then I cut them up and I freeze them. Now I put them in my smoothies every day. It makes every smoothie so much better.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I was just
super
telling him
good.
this morning I wanted to go back to making smoothies.
Yeah, I make it every day. Every work day, Monday through Friday, I make a big smoothie for both of us, and then I split it up, and that's our breakfast.
No, it's not my breakfast.
Your face when she said that.
Those,
Well, I
Definitely
leave
not
for
my
work, so I don't
breakfast.
know what he does, but
Drinking in the afternoon between my coffee and energy drink.
really?
Yes.
I guess. I don't know. Fills me up.
It's a beverage. It's
Yeah.
not a... Do you guys think smoothies are food or drinks?
Drinks.
I mean, I guess. What is food? Like, it's definitely a food because food goes in it.
Nah.
You're just helping the digestion process by blending it up.
I think it's food. I think it's a meal.
Yeah.
Because people go on juice diets, and a smoothie is technically considered like a juice if you're on
Yeah,
a juice
but
diet.
nobody is happy in a juice
Yeah.
diet. Nobody feels fulfilled.
I never
I feel like I'd be fine.
I've never had a smoothie and been like, oh man, I don't want to eat anymore.
Really?
Never.
Oh.
Well, okay, but I think those are different questions. Your relationship,
right.
your relationship to food is such that you have to, I don't know, gorge yourself with it. I don't know, but
Yes.
it is just fuel. And so, is it a food? Well, it's definitely a fuel because if you were starving and you had that would help you tremendously.
I think some things just fill you up and some things don't.
Yeah,
I think-
is a smoothie filling? Then I would say no.
Right.
Oh.
But
I
it
think
can
it
be
is.
with like whey protein.
Well, it's great. I wish it was for me.
I add chia seeds to mine, so that kind of fills me up.
I get
And
stuck in my
spinach.
teeth.
Do it?
Yeah.
Smiling all day and you just got black little
Yep.
seeds in there.
Chia seeds and spinach. I don't know. I feel like it makes it more fulfilling.
Well, we're all jealous of that.
I don't eat very much, though. Like,
No.
I do eat small portions, and I'm fine. Yesterday, we were at a Chinese restaurant with my dad, and my dad had gotten Szechuan beef and fried rice. Nick got some peanut chicken, and then we had a bowl of white rice to split between us, and I had a plate of beef. I had, like, maybe a quarter of my plate, and Nick was, like, over halfway done. He's like, I should stop eating. I have a competition in a week. But I could probably eat that, and that, and still be hungry. And my dad was like, yeah, I could probably finish both of these. And I'm looking at my quarter plate of beef that I ate, and I was like, I'm full.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have. Because food's expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been visiting my relationship with food lately because it's just not, it's developing into unhealthy because I fast in the morning, but like then when I stop, I just eat everything. So like, and that's
Yeah.
and I'm getting soft like a potato around here. And I don't like it.
Oh.
So, actually, potatoes aren't
I don't
soft.
think
Yeah, I
you're
was gonna
getting
say,
soft
like-
like a potato.
I'm getting soft. Like a potato.
Like a rotten potato.
Yeah.
Ew.
The eyes are just growing out.
Got some black spots there.
Actually, yeah, I got that one.
What?
It's like a mole that
This
came
got
out
weird.
of nowhere.
Let's see it.
TMI. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So, I kind of mentioned briefly in there with the Chinese food that there's a competition coming up in a week, right? Are you
Yes.
excited?
Yeah, you guys compete?
No, I'm permanently broken.
Yeah, I'm competing next week, which I'm excited about.
Which
This-
tournament is it?
It's Grappling Industries.
Okay.
So last I
That's
saw
the
last week, there was over 700 registered competitors.
Wow.
Last time there was over 1,000 registered competitors, and last time the bracket went until 2 a.m.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and they had 12 mats. So this time they have 22 mats, and hopefully it only goes to like 6 or 8. I don't know
Did
yet.
you stay till 2 a.m.?
No.
No,
He had to
I
drop
actually
out.
pulled out because I had knee issues
Oh.
that were kind of bad.
It was your elbow, actually. That one.
No, that was my knees. Those were my knees. I remember.
Jiu Jitsu.
My elbow was
That's
fine.
about it good.
Yeah, but I was gonna ask you about your knees and how those are doing for you. But it seems like today
I
that's a
thought
touchy
they were
subject.
doing okay, and then I woke up and I got a
You
tattoo.
just woke up.
Yeah,
Woke
I
up
got,
like this
I got a tattoo, so I haven't rolled in the last week, and I thought it would be like
on your
really.
knee.
Huh? Oh no, not on my knee, but I thought it'd be like good and healthy for them to have a little bit of a break, and then I woke up this morning and it just didn't want to hold my weight again. And I'm not
So
sure what
odd.
happened. So
Here's what's crazy is we go to an orthopedic surgeon, 2 of them, and they both said, "Oh, everything's structurally okay. We don't know what's wrong." Okay.
but why do I have sharp pains?
Yeah,
Right.
Just one guy literally just said, "Well, you can just fight through it."
that's what mine told me.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, so
well, no,
I
there's
went
something
to
wrong for sure. My body's telling me there's
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yeah, that's a fact. I went to ortho to get my knees checked out because I also have random sharp pains, but mine's in like the tip of my shin. You said yours are like the inside of your
Yeah, the
knees.
inside of my knees.
Yeah, so that probably sucks a lot more. So sorry. But ortho told me, she was like, yeah, everything looks structurally good. I didn't get an MRI, but she took x-rays because she thought a growth plate might have had some like bone spurs, basically, from where the pain I was having. But then she told me, I asked her, I was like, so you think if I compete, would I like damage it further or anything? She was like, no, everything's looks really good, so I don't think that it could hurt more than it already does. So you could just get through it. But they set me up with physical therapy. So I'm 29. I'm going to physical therapy. Thanks, Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, they told me to do that too. I was just having it.
Yeah, and she said that the pain that I'm having is very common with NBA players, and they have a program that they use with the Bucks for all of their athletes that stops this pain that they're gonna put me through, I guess.
Okay, well at least that's like something specific-ish and manageable.
Right. So
But
now
she
Tuesday
still
morning.
didn't have like a diagnosis, right? She's just
No.
saying because of the target of the pain, it seems similar to this, so we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, basically it's strengthening up my knee somehow. So I'll let you know what exercises. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that would be great. I don't have to go to PT. You could just tell me. 'Cause
Right. I plan on sharing the knowledge that I accumulate with the overpriced physical therapy bill.
yes, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
I'll have a knee exercise seminar in the next 6 months.
Very interested.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people would be.
Yeah, it's crazy like how much you need
I'm going to go
your
to physical
knees.
therapy taking notes. He's going to be like, what are you doing?
I know.
Videoing?
Yeah.
You don't mind, do you?
So right now, I actually have a giant bruise, like this big, on my knee because I landed way too hard on it this week. And I haven't been able to use it since Thursday. So I was rolling yesterday, and you just said, like, it's crazy how much you need your knee. And I was like, I just won't use it. Like, I'll just kneel on this knee, or I'll stand in a squat base the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, this is really hard. And there was quite a few times that I was like, I have to give up something in order to not be on this knee. And I know I was rolling with my dad yesterday, and he was like, why'd you just give me that? I'm like, because I couldn't knee slice. I couldn't do anything. So here, take it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, that sucks. He's like, you were kind of stuck. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, knees suck.
Who needs them? Huh.
Yeah, nice. That was a good one. I applaud that. I applaud that effort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your knees are plaguing you. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
think
just
worse than
I
anybody.
don't know what to do with them, but it's changed my style of jiu-jitsu, I think, for the better, especially if they get fixed. So I think I don't know. I'm appreciative of all of my injuries because they've made me try things differently than I was doing before.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
What a powerful perspective that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, going through this shitty thing, or my perspective was that it was a shitty thing, but now I've learned how to invert and do spinny shit way better, and
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, is it ideal? No, but it's changed our game for the better. And like to have that perspective is awesome.
What injuries have you had?
What's
been your worst one? Which one?
I've been really lucky. So how I look at injuries is the farther away from the spine, the better. Like, okay, my wrist hurts. That's okay. My ankle. Okay, whatever. In jiu-jitsu, the most common thing for me is my elbows. My elbows are absolutely awful. I can't straighten or bend. My range of motion, I don't even know if you can see in gi, but
you can.
Like, yeah, that's straight, that's bent. Like, that's not normal.
Wow.
On both elbows, this one's a little bit better than this one, but
does it just lock up, or does it hurt when you get past that point?
Sometimes it hurts. Oh, I can't. I mean, it's like
you just can't.
Yeah, like there's no.
Did something happen, or is it just an overtime thing?
It's been over time. I got surgery on this one like 7 or 8 years ago and got a little bit of dexterity back, but not much. They said on the operating table, they could bend it. So like they took out a bunch of crap that was like built up, or like not built up, but like bone spurs and that kind of stuff. But on the operating table, they said they could bend it full range of motion, but afterwards I never was able to, and I went to all the physical therapy. There was times where I cried because they were just forcing it, and I mean, like, it was bad.
Dang.
But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty lucky because my spine is still all right. My knees give me problems as well.
Dang knees.
Yeah. But like I said, the farther away from the spine, the better. And I've been doing this for a long time. And like, would I trade the knowledge that I have for the injuries? And I'd say absolutely.
They've helped your jiu-jitsu game grow, I'm sure.
That, and like, could I imagine life without jiu-jitsu, but elbows that straighten? Like, I'll take the knowledge and wisdom that I've gained from jiu-jitsu, and if the cost is that I can't straighten or bend my elbows to a full extent,
right?
I'll pay that price every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say everything that jiu-jitsu brings to us, as far as, like you said, knowledge, wisdom, technique, but even like communities, relationships, and all the other things that intertwines with life, I think is a huge benefit for anybody that should try jiu-jitsu, which is everybody.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
My odyssey.
Yeah, enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it at that. I look at how I would be. So I could straighten my arms when I was 24, right? But if I fought myself now without good elbows, if I fought my 24-year-old self, it wouldn't even be close.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so obviously I've improved, and there's just a cost.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
As is life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
What else were we going to bring up? I feel like there's another.
So we talked about the camp, the BJJ Fanatics video, seminars.
Knees. Training as a couple. I think the only thing you wanted to bring up is how you're prepping for competition in a week.
Yeah. I'm always jealous every time I see your food.
Yeah, that's the best part. Because Brittany's almost like a chef. She cooks all this awesome stuff.
I say I'm a purplebelt at cooking.
I love when people make that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We do it all the time because someone told me, because
I'm
I
a
do
leather
cook a
belt
lot.
in cooking.
A leather belt?
Yeah, I haven't gotten my
You
white
haven't even
belt
started?
yet.
You haven't walked into the dojo?
I can make ramen.
Yeah. Oh, that's
debatable.
Oh boy. He can make ramen. I feel uncomfortable.
I think I was born with that ability, and that's it.
Yes.
No, I like those analogies though, because there was someone who told me, because I do cook a lot and I do post about it a lot, and they were just like, "Oh, you're like a black belt at cooking." I'm like, "Oh no, I am not. Like, nowhere near it." Because I watch Hell's Kitchen and I'm like, I don't know how to do 3/4 of that stuff. Like, not at all. So, but that's, I think, how it is with the belts too, is like, when people think they're so good and you can beat up other people, you know how long the journey is to get your black belt and why it takes so long to get your black belt. Because I feel like a lot of people, when they first start, they're like, why does it take so long to get your black belt? Like, there's 8-year-old black belt kids in karate. And it's like, yeah, well, this is not the same. And that's how I view cooking too. Like, anyone can look at a direction from a box except for Nick Lee and just cook it and try to make it look like the picture. I mean, look at all those HelloFresh things and the meal kits that people are doing. Like, they're just mimicking a picture. And I would say that's the white belt. Like, you're trying to mimic everything that you see. But then as you can start adding your own flavors and adding your own spice to it, and that's why I say I'm a purple belt, because I have so much more to learn. Like, I'm very good at cooking, but I'm nowhere near Hell's Kitchen level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really know what's on the plate that I'm eating or ask her what's on it. I just trust that I'm going to like whatever she makes.
I like to experiment with ingredients, and he, for some reason, likes to ask me what he's eating. And when I tell him, he's like, I have no idea what you just said.
And I just eat it.
He's like, this is really good, though.
Yeah, which is fun. And I've heard lots of different types of food.
Yeah.
Josh has come a long way in his cooking.
I'm a white belt.
But when we first started dating,
There's nothing wrong with that.
he offered to cook me
I
dinner
love
and
this
then
story.
put in a lean cuisine. And he was serious.
Sounds like dinner.
That's not dinner.
It worked, though. Look,
Oh,
you're still
smoothie's
here.
not dinner.
So I have questionable taste.
Yeah. I got her. I reeled her in with that lean cuisine.
Ooh, yeah, that chicken Alfredo.
She'll never forget it.
No.
What kind of food do you like to cook the most?
I like cooking Asian food.
Oh, geez.
That's perfect.
Yep.
That's what we love eating the most.
Really?
What do you
I
get,
love
We'll have you
Chinese
guys-
food? Okay.
No, we'll have you guys over for dinner sometime. I love making a beef
You heard
and
it.
broccoli.
You heard it. She's having us over for dinner. I don't want that to get a thrown away line. You have to do it. There's people watching. They're going to ask, hey, did you ever
Okay,
have
we
those
just said
guys?"
that to be nice.
No. Oh, well, okay. At least that's honest. Yeah.
No, I really like cooking with Asian food. The last restaurant that I worked in for 2.5 years was an Asian restaurant. So I like to experiment with all the different sauces and spices. And
I
I'm
love
always
soy sauce
trying to buy
and
new
sriracha
things.
sauce.
But I put in a lot of weird stuff that people just are like, why would you have that in your cabinet? I'm like, because that's what the recipe required. And now I use it for other things. Like, I've been playing, I know this isn't Asian, but I play with cumin a lot. And I always thought cumin was like just for tacos and that's it. But I put cumin in a lot of things now.
I have no idea what cumin tastes like.
See?
I think it's brown.
You eat it like 4 times a week.
Yeah, but I
It's supposed to be good for inflammation, too, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's good to
Or
know.
maybe
it's turmeric.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
turmeric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the same color, aren't they?
Turmeric
Yes.
is one of the stupidest spelled words.
What?
Turmeric,
Why is it the stupidest?
because it's pronounced like turmeric, but there's an R before the M. It's
Oh.
TURMER.
I guess I've never even noticed that.
Yep, me either. Thanks for
You're
dropping
welcome.
that for us.
Every Tuesday,
It's the
we
only
also
silent
do
R.
Taco Tuesday. So every single Tuesday, I make a brand new Mexican dish that I've never tried before. Well, most of the time, some days I'm lazy and I'll just make tacos. But every
And then
Tuesday,
I have nachos for lunch every Wednesday.
yeah, every Tuesday I make Mexican food. But the thing that I'm learning about Mexican food, and the reason it's not my favorite to cook, is that it's all very similar. Like, the way that I've talked about it with people is that everything that you can get at like a taco truck, just to keep it basic, is just a taco with different types of bread. Like, a quesadilla is just a taco with cheese that you
And
melt
a big
together.
tortilla.
And a burrito is just a wrapped taco. And a torta is just a fried taco. And a torta is just a fried taco sandwich. Like, everything is just a taco, in my opinion.
Life. A taco.
And that's not a bad thing. Like, I love
Let's
Mexican
talk about
food.
it.
Oh my goodness. You might be a black belt in puns.
Don't give him all that credit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I like to experiment on Taco Tuesday a lot. But I'm kind of getting short on ideas for that. So if anyone has any Taco Tuesday
have an
ideas,
idea.
let me know.
Can you do Asian tacos?
We've
I
done
have
that.
done that. Mm-hmm. My next one that I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do curry tacos. I haven't done that yet. I make curry all the time and I make tacos all the time, but I've never done them together.
We're starting to do Indian food though.
Oh, I love Indian food. Tikka marsala. So good.
Yeah.
The gobi Manchurian is our new favorite.
I haven't had that one.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what words you just said.
You have us over for dinner. We're going to have you over to our favorite Indian place.
Which one is that?
Cafe India, the KK over here.
I've heard of
Okay.
that.
My dad's go-to is in Greenfield. I don't know if it's Indian Village or the other one. Is it
I think
Indian
it's-
Village?
Yep.
Their tikka marsala.
Dave just mentioned it.
Oh
There's
my god. It's amazing.
It's a good place. Yep.
Food. I could go on and on and on about food, but we are at the hour mark, so I'm going to cut it off now.
Oh,
Because you guys want to do donkey guards, so let's go.
Well, Donkey Guard is exciting, and yeah, we did talk about Jeff Glover's seminar coming in, but that's gonna be super fun. He's probably not going to teach Donkey Guard. I don't know what he's going to teach, but that's not like a normal thing that everybody like wants to come learn Donkey Guard.
That should be what everybody wants to learn.
Yeah, it's like the most fun. But
Cool.
Well, thanks guys for joining us today.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Hope you had fun. I had fun.
Different perspectives is always really cool, especially to get out here. Because we've had people, like we've had black belts, we've had white belts, we've had older people, we've had younger people. Like it's really cool to see all the different perspectives and all sharing the love for the same sport.
I also like to hear how other couples roll together, because I have limited experience rolling with my significant other.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of couples that we know, they struggle with it.
Yeah, and that's what I find.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
seems to be
different
like
than
the
normal.
women seem to have more of a problem than the men.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, LA just tries to murder Joe.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, the couples we've talked to that roll together, they roll differently with their significant other or partner than they do with everybody else that they roll with.
Yeah, I also can't imagine like starting the same time as my significant other.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that would have made a difference or not.
I think it does, because we just had Steve and Karen on, I think 2 weeks ago.
They're like 1 or 2 stripes away from each other.
Yeah, like he started only less than a year before her. So a year at white belt does make a big difference, but they're still like roughly on the same spectrum. And they said that they don't have an issue working together. And I was like, well, that's nice.
You know what's interesting? I'll bet we would have if I was at, because I don't think that I had my ego dissolution time. So at that point, if I was a new purple belt, as an example, I think I would. I mean, she would be better than me at purple belt. I would have had to try to use muscle and whatever, which to win. At practice that we do every day, which doesn't make any sense. I would have had to do that to keep up with her, because she was just. I guarantee you, if you put us just skill wise, she would have been better than me. So then it would have caused a problem, and I would have been egotistical asshole.
I was thinking that when you were saying how you guys don't have that problem, you can learn from each other. And I was thinking in my head that that's probably like the wisdom of doing it for longer too. Like you guys met when you were purple.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was a brown
a
belt.
brown. I
Okay.
think he just got his brown belt when we met.
Okay, so you were a brown belt, and I think you were a blue belt, right?
White.
You were white. Okay.
We've been together a while.
No, that's
All right.
cool though. But like you guys, like Josh already kind of had that like platform, that wisdom building up as a brown belt. Like you said, you didn't have the ego. I probably have the ego, where I'm like, I gotta smash my husband.
Yeah, and you get a chance every day to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you seen the purple stripe on her belt? Or heard the story?
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When she triangled me that one time, that was a fluke. We'll say. She told her dad, she was like, I tapped out Nick. I deserve my purple belt now. So, without telling her, he came over at a totally random different time and just gave her a little purple stripe with the marker and said, That's your I tapped out Nick stripe.
It's fading. Like that's how long it's been.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's memories on a belt.
Maybe when you're blue, I'll let you tap it out.
Let you. Okay, whatever.
Josh is nice and lets me.
How nice.
I don't even think he's let me, actually. Like, I think he lets me get close, and he's like, no.
Me?
Yeah.
Or your dad?
You.
Yeah.
There's sometimes I don't have, like, she gets some weird ass shit. And, like, I'll get interested. Like, how is she going to finish it?
What's going on
And
here?
then sometimes she actually figures it out, how to finish it.
Like,
And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that was. Like, what did I do? I don't know.
I felt bad, but...
Yeah, I've only been doing this for 16 years, not 100. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right.
Well, anything else we want to share? I think we advertised everything, so...
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys so much. Had a good time having you on here.
Kiwi.